Contemporary architecture has brought forth many questions about how architecture should be practiced in today's age. We see a lot of change in the way we consume media, especially in the most recent history. We are constantly involved with changing and growing as people, and now everybody is able to be a part of the conversation at a very rapid rate. Architecture still has some catching up to do, and although style changes very rapidly, still see a lot of the same desires in what people want out of what a building does for them. They still want it to work, and they still want it to look like a building. In many areas of the world, resources are hard to come by. Through the lessons we've learned about Buckminster Fuller's geodesic domes and the modernist principle that form follows function, we can make use of the media and learn much more directly from pop culture than Denise Scott Brown ever imagined. Although there is a downside to this. Just as Philip Johnson lumped together visually similar works in both his exhibits on modernism and deconstructivism, people who know much less than he did are likely to do the same with the buildings of today and the architecture of our time. This brings me to Tatiana Bilbao and her social housing projects in Ciudad Aquila, Mexico, built in 2015 with her studio Tatiana Bilbao Estudios. A few of the most interesting things about this project is that these homes may only cost $8,000 to build, and at a maximum estimate of $14,000, that is still very cheap. Originally displayed in this form for the Chicago Architecture Biennial, using these bright colors and wooden forms to show her ideas after interviewing around 2,000 residents of her future site. She learned that a few of the most important things for these people to have was a home that looked like a finished building, as well as having space and the ability to expand. These interviews gave this project much more cultural context than a lot of projects we've seen in class. Actually knowing what the people want doesn't take away from your ability to design the space, but it allows them a sense of contribution to what makes their home their home. As once we are done with the building, they're going to be the ones interacting with it. And it's important to remember that we're designing buildings, places people go, not just, well, spaces, not just the ability to make people feel things. We need to think about the day to day and not just that one impression we get from something like a monumental room or a dramatic moment that exists within one of our structures. While these are beautiful and certainly helpful in certain types of architecture where we know people won't be visiting every day, such as museums, we still need to focus most of our attention on the day to day when it comes to designing someone's house, because for them it needs to become, well, it needs to become their home. And since housing issues have been popping up all around the world, this is an opportunity for architects to make a positive impact on a lot of people who need a lot of help, and making them a part of the conversation allows them to truly appreciate what they have and where they are.